Trees for Yesha, the gift that keeps on growing. Planting a tree in Yesha is the perfect way to show you care. For $18 a fruit tree, you can show the Jews of Yesha that you stand together with them in these troubled times. Check out our website at treesforyesha.org.
Hi everyone, a young whale visits Israel. Hotel chefs prepare for the Passover Seder meal, Israel's new combat helicopter, an artistic form of demonstration, and a Torah celebration in Gush Katif today on Israeli Salad. Shalom and welcome to Israeli Salad. Our first story will be a look at a unique tourist who came to visit Israel. After the report, I'll tell you what happened at the end with this tourist. Don't worry, it's a happy ending. Workers of the Kishon port in Haifa, as well as other Israelis from the area, gathered to meet a new tourist who came to visit Israel. This unique tourist came to Israeli shores by sea.
מדובר בלוויתן מצוי, סוג הלוויתן
We're talking about a common whale, a young one.
מדובר בגור.
So what brings this young whale to the Holy Land? The whale accompanied a ship that came from a Turkish port. A few hours after the ship entered the Kishon port, this guest also arrived.
אנחנו היינו הראשונים לפגוש אותו.
We were the first to meet him. He was determined to come in and he came straight into the port. For 2 days he swam around the Turkish ship. It's probably a young whale that found a big object in the water, and it perhaps reminded him of his mother, so he wants to stay close. The object may be giving off heat and different sounds that might be attracting him.
כל מיני צלילים מסוימים שיכולים למשוך אותו. כולנו קיווינו שכשהאונייה הזאת תעזוב את הנמל, הוא יעזוב איתה.
We'd hoped that when the ship left port that he would leave as well, because as you could see, the Kishon waters aren't so pleasant, but that didn't happen.
וזה לא קרה.
The Kishon waters originating from the Kishon stream are not just unpleasant but are actually hazardous, as the Kishon stream absorbs much of the waste of the many industrial factories of Haifa. That's why Ophir and the rest of the crew of IMRAC, Israel Marine Mammal Research and Assistance Center, now have an unexpected but important mission.
המשימה היא להוציא אותו.
Our mission is to let him out. If he doesn't go out on his own, we'll have to help him out. I hope they'll help him out. He should be out in the clean water, not in the filth of the Kishon.
So how do you tell such a large mammal, let alone an underwater creature, that it should leave the area?
נצטרך לעשות קולות מסוימים, לעשות איזשהו קיר.
We'll have to make certain sounds to create an echo wall, and that could scare him out, and if that doesn't work, well, I don't believe we'll have to do this, but no one wants this to happen. We could use nets and push him out to sea.
שרק יגרמו לו לצאת החוצה לפתח, ובתקווה שיעזוב אותנו החוצה לגמרי.
Although the spectators understood that the whale must leave as soon as possible, the young whale was a great attraction, and many Israelis came to get a close look at an underwater creature which is absolutely uncommon in Israel.
It's great to finally see a whale in Israel. It goes poof, like this. It's awesome. There are people here who came to see the whale, but he isn't considerate enough and he doesn't come out enough.
So what's the end of the story? IMRAC reported that according to their observations, the young whale has left the port, and they hope he is now swimming in cleaner waters. We'll be right back with food for Passover.
Please send your comments, ideas, and questions to the Israeli Salad email, yoni@israelnn.com. or leave a message on the Israeli Salad voicemail at international dialing code 972-3918-5554. That's 972-3918-5554.
By the way, if you didn't write down our email, no problem, because we got a link directly to our email on the bottom of our screen on the website, so just click and send us your feedback. Around the time of the upcoming festival of Passover, or Pesach, the Israel Hotel Association, in cooperation with Osem Nestle Food Services, holds a competition of the best hotel Seder table. The Seder is the traditional meal of the first night of Pesach. In addition to telling the story of the redemption from Egypt, the Seder is a great festival meal, and a lot of effort is put into preparing the meal. We visited the competition and learned that the prohibition of eating leavened products on Passover doesn't bother the chefs, rather it challenges them.
They're being judged by two parameters. First of all, of course, the taste, and second of all, the originality of the design.
The decoration is Passover. We have the baby Moses in the basket, and we have all the concepts of Passover written on pebbles that are scattered around.
It's a lot harder. They had to create a Seder meal, taking into account all the limitations. They had to make it original, beautiful, and delicious, and to stay connected to the traditional Seder meal. It's not that simple.
The chametz limitation is not a problem. We have so many basic materials that we could manage without flour or chametz.
Over the years, we've learned to deal with this. Around Passover, we make an effort to be creative, and the limitations don't bother us.
It's a change. There's a lot of pressure when we need to make the kitchen kosher for Passover. It's not simple, but it's an experience.
You can manage without flour for a week.
Be sure to visit the Israeli Salad website. On the Israeli Salad site, scroll through all the editions, see what topics were presented on each program, and simply click on the icon to watch your favorite program. Also, watch all our fantastic music videos featured right here on Israeli Salad. So be sure to click on www.israelnationaltv.com/salad.htm. That's www.israelnationaltv.com/salad.htm.
The young whale we met at the beginning of the program was a tourist who came for a short visit. Now let's meet a serpent that immigrated to Israel. The serpent, the Saraf, is Israel's new combat helicopter. The arrival of this airborne transport to Israel was another significant leap made by the Israel Air Force into future technology. The transport delivered the first three US-made AH-64D or Apache Longbow combat helicopters.
It's the best combat helicopter in the world. The transport came directly from a Boeing factory in Arizona after many years of development and integration between Israeli and American teams.
The chopper, called in Hebrew the Saraf, or the Serpent, will be deployed as part of the next generation of aviation technology, which permits Israel to maintain its military edge in the region. The Apache Longbow has a unique multi-target fire-and-forget radar system with state-of-the-art technology. The chopper will undoubtedly serve in Israel's ongoing war against Islamic terrorism. The helicopter's targeting mechanism allows pilots to sort out and then shoot targets in 6 seconds flat. The system can even fire more than one missile at a time and does not require the pilot to maintain eye contact with his target. The cooperation between Israel and the U.S. not only enabled the purchasing of the choppers, but also brought about significant enhancements to the original Apache Longbow helicopter.
The helicopter is more advanced than the American Longbow, thanks to the additional Israeli-made systems that were added to the aircraft.
The delivery from the United States is part of a $640 million defense package designed to upgrade Israel's helicopter force. Each one of these helicopters costs a very pricey $27 million. Excited by their new aircraft, the Air Force personnel know they have now one main mission.
והתפקיד שלנו בזמן
To make the helicopter operational as soon as possible.
יכולת מבצעית. At the end of today's program, we'll have pictures from yet another Sefer Torah dedication celebration that took place in Gush Katif, the Jewish bloc of communities in the Gaza Strip. But first, let's hear some words from a prominent official who joined the celebrations and expressed his support, the chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Yoni Kempinski.
I came here especially in these days to encourage from my heart. I came to give strength. I find myself being strengthened. You're building and building, and thank God, today, the 18th family this year has come to Nitzarim. May the following verse that we sang before with the Torah be fulfilled. For God will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance.
More from the Torah celebration at the end of the program. Many Israelis and Jews from outside Israel are involved in the struggle against the expulsion of Jews from their homes as planned by Sharon's government. Each person expresses their protest in their own way. On Friday, March 18th, Miriam Hoffman met a group of performing artists who found an original way to try to reach the hearts of residents of Tel Aviv. The actors arrived at Shenkin Street, which is considered a very left-wing area, and walked around with suitcases, blindfolds, gags, and signs reading, "I was cut off, no one asked me." Some of the bystanders related to the message, while others preferred to continue with their day-to-day routine and ignore the suffering expressed through the art.
We got together a few people who are involved in theater, arts, and design. We talked about what we could do to present in our language what we think about the disengagement. We wanted to sound out our opinion in a new way. It's not only a political statement, but it's also a statement about social issues. We have to do something. We have to stand up and protest. Any effort that one could do, he should do to cancel this decree. What's this about? It's against disengagement. For the disengagement, what do they want? I don't understand. This doesn't interest me. A message? What kind of message?
על ההתנתקות וגוש קטיף.
It's about the disengagement, Gush Katif. They don't want to leave their homes. They want to stay. It's miserable. They're like refugees, walking around with their suitcases. It's about the anti-democratic behavior. Our mouths are being shut and a false situation is being presented before our eyes. And the nation is giving in to this. People don't care. People aren't awake. Whoever is awake, whoever is truly awake, would not let this happen. You can't uproot a nation like this. When they want, they send people to settle the land, and then they take them away. It could drive you crazy. Open your eyes. Perception that Shenkin is only left-wing is not correct. I think it's disgusting. It's very rude. I believe in the freedom of expression, but probably because I don't agree, it bothers me. It's kind of shocking. It touches you. It convinces. I again feel that this is a leftist city, and I want to go back to Texas.
And now, our weekly insight. Today we'll be discussing the Parsha, the portion of the week of Metzorah. Shalom to Rabbi David Sampson in Jerusalem.
Shalom Yoni, shalom to all of our viewers around the world.
The name of the Parsha, Mitzorah, is usually translated as a leper, although of course the condition referred to in the Parsha is not like the leprosy that we know of today. The Parsha talks about a disease that is treated by the priests in the Holy Temple. Now there's a lot to say about the different types of this disease, but what's the main idea behind this sickness, which isn't exactly a sickness as we see it's treated in a spiritual way?
You know, the concept of leprosy is truly fascinating. It doesn't exist today. It's some kind of mystical disease, but it's interesting to note that dermatologists today all agree that skin is affected by the psyche. And of all of the diseases and illnesses of man, the skin is the first to show some kind of problem that is mainly psychological. When people are very tuned in with themselves and there is divine providence, then as a result, people who stray from divine providence are actually able to show it in their skin. And a priest is able to read the skin of somebody like that and perceive what's going on in his psyche.
And this is not only a sickness, it's an actual punishment.
Well, it's obviously a punishment. The Torah sees it as a punishment, a very strong punishment that he has to be sent out of the camp. It's considered a very high level of defilement. And the rabbis say that the main cause for leprosy was speaking evil tongue, and that for not knowing the right things to say, people were ousted from the camp. Yoni, being a reporter, it's very important to know that what you say counts, and that when divine providence will return, it could be that once again reporters will have to be very careful about what they say if they want to stay in the camp.
Okay, thank you very much, Rabbi Sampson.
The Weekly Insight is brought to you in cooperation with Machon Meir, the largest Zionist institute in Israel, bringing people closer to Judaism.
And now we'll end with some pictures from the Torah celebration in Gush Katif. The celebration took place in the community of Netzarim, and it marked the inauguration of a new Torah ark and the dedication of a new Torah scroll in memory of Rabbi Ben Zion Freiman and of Minister Rechavam Ze'evi, who was murdered by terrorists a few years ago. One of the highlights of the celebration occurred when Chief Rabbi Yonah Metzger called on the children of Netzarim to gather to be blessed by the rabbis and the crowd. This blessing expressed their prayer that the residents will continue to raise children and grandchildren in Gush Katif. In the background, we can now hear the song Uvduye Hashem from Beyond Eden's new album called On the D. Beyond Eden sing, and the redeemed of God shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their heads. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. All we can add to this is Amen. Please join us again next week for another edition. Until then, from all of us here at Israel National News, Shalom.
ופדויי השם ישובו.
Jewish Response to Missionaries. This is a powerful, new, and complete 18-part digitally remastered CD series or 24-part cassette series with 423 new pages, plus an in-depth study guide by Rabbi Tovia Singer, a must-have for any library collection. This outstanding commentary is available now for only $99 plus shipping and handling. Order online now at www.outreachjudaism.org or call toll-free 1-800-315-JEWS. That's 1-800-315-JEWS.